Western Athletic Conference basketball here on ESPN+. It's the final day of the regular season. All eyes are turning to the prize next Saturday at WAC Vegas. But first things first, it's the Grand Canyon Lopes and the Abilene Christian Wildcats. WAC basketball on a Saturday afternoon. Welcome one final time to Moody Coliseum here on the campus of Abilene Christian University. I'm Andy Penny alongside the coach, Coach Ron Holmes. For Grand Canyon today, a chance to get a co-conference championship and the #1 seed, a win and a Utah Valley loss today. We'll see how that plays out. Right. Coach, for ACU, an opportunity to lock in the 4th place seed with a win today.
And I predicted them to be 4th when the season started, and they've gone through some hills and some valleys, but here they are. They've got a 4th spot.
A chance to do that. Here's a look at the updated standings. Again, Utah Valley, a 1-game lead on Grand Canyon, but a GCU win, a Utah Valley loss tonight at Tarleton, and GCU gets the 1 seed with the co-conference championship. Again, for ACU, a win. They finish in 4th. They can drop to as low as 6th with a loss today, so a lot on the line. Hey, Coach, let's look at our impact players. It's a pair of seniors today. Hunter Jack Madden for ACU. No Tyon Grant Foster for Grand Canyon today, so we impact Ray Harrison for the Lopes.
Ray Harrison is a coach's dream. He's just, 9 points away from 2,000, a few assists away from 500, and he scored 21 against Cal State Fullerton. Hunter Jack Madden, a coach's dream as well. He's had a great year. He had 2 or 3 games in there where he just disappeared, but he was injured. But he's back, and he's shooting the ball very well.
And his final game here at Moody Coliseum should be fun to watch. Speaking of Moody Coliseum, we had a great one this time last year between these two. And with more on that, we send it to the 3rd member of our team. He's courtside. It's Roman Raffelli. Hey, Roman.
Thanks, Andy. The last time these two teams played in Abilene, we had a phenomenal game as the Wildcats were able to beat the eventual WAC Conference champions. In that game, Kavion McLean, former point guard for this Wildcat squad, had 5 points in the last 50 seconds. He hit a major 3 off an assist from Ali D, but the team's leading scorer at the time, to take the lead, and then sunk a couple of key free throws to win that one. They look for a big performance here today from their team to get a key step forward in the standings. Guys, back.
Yeah, thanks, Roman. That was late in the season a year ago, just one of 5 losses last year for Grand Canyon. Their 30-5 season happened right here at Moody Coliseum. Wildcats will try to do the same here again today. Bettyall and Brennan in the center circle. WAC basketball on a Saturday afternoon is underway. Lopes in the road purple uniforms today. You see Micaiah Williams running the point. As we look at the Grand Canyon starters here, Harrison, Williams, Moore, Coles, and Brennan today. No Tyon Grant Foster, the 5th game in a row that Grant Foster has been out of the lineup with a leg injury. All indicators say that he will be good to go next week in Las Vegas. Coach Drew and the Lopes holding him out on a precautionary measure today. This is the 8th game of the year that Grant Foster has not been in the lineup, but GCU, they're just 7-0 when Tyon doesn't play. Harrison will back down, and there it is, Coach, our impact player, Ray Harrison, going to work.
Oh, yeah, and he takes you off the dribble. He can get in the open space, and he's about 60% of their offense.
The LMB Real Estate starting lineup for the Wildcats. Go check out our starting lineup, a premier commercial real estate. Bettyall, Smith, Williams, Hubbard, and Madden. As we celebrate 3 seniors today, Bettyall and Madden, 2 of those 3, as well as Coach Brett Tanner's son, Colby Tanner. Keon Williams blocked at the rim, and Grand Canyon will clear. Colin Moore up the floor. GC winners of 12 of their last 13. They've won 6 in a row. That ties their longest winning streak of the year. They've done it twice. Brennan, an offensive rebound. It comes off the rim into the hands of Hubbard. The Lopes a victory versus Utah Tech on Thursday night, 90-68. Leo Bettyall, the first 2 for the Wildcats.
GCU, Grand Canyon. In the first 8 seconds of a possession, they're in the bottom 10 in the NCAA. That's 355 teams or more. You've got to get to them early in your offense, and that would mean transitions or look for back doors or just get steals. Now come up the floor and go score right now.
First steal here for the nation's leader in steals, the Wildcats. Brennan a block of Bettyall on the other side.
That's what you have to do, is that right there. And there's always, Brennan, he's a tough guy. He's a toughness for Grand Canyon.
Another steal here and a chance to run. It's Williams. He'll attack Moore. Contact, whistle and a block call. Our first free throws will go the way of the Wildcats.
Have you figured that call out yet, Andy? I mean, we talked about this Thursday night.
Seems like it's gone the way of the offensive player the majority of the season. As the block call here on Moore, that's his first. He'll send Keon Williams to the line. They transferred from Oklahoma State, his first year in a Wildcat uniform. 13.3 points a game. Keon's been in double figures 21 times this year. 3 of those are 20 plus. ACU coming off a loss on Thursday to Utah Valley, the conference leader Utah Valley, with 1 game to go. The Wolverines really ran ACU out of the gym, especially early, as Utah Valley built a 19-point lead 12 minutes in at 30-11. ACU got back within 4 twice in the second half, but Utah Valley led throughout and went on to win that down the stretch 73-60. Grand Canyon needs a win today, a Utah Valley loss at Tarleton tonight to draw even with the Wolverines in a co-conference regular season championship. Williams downhill too strong. Brennan his second offensive rebound. And now a whistle. And not sure the shot clock reset. Here's a look at Bryce Drew, his 5th season with the Lopes. Of course, he's been to the NCAA tournament 3 times, including each of the last 2. Last year, a 30-5 season, a win in the tournament over St. Mary's. Fell to Alabama in round 2 of the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, but they got to round 2. You know, that's fantastic for a mid-major.
And a guy who busted my bracket in 1998 with the last-second shot.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that shot. Yeah, the miracle. You know, I was going to tell you, if you want to talk a little bit about that, the block charge call, Jerry Pollard, who's a Division I official, retired this year, he's called 21 or 22 years in the NCAA Division I games and called 3 or 4 Final Fours. But he was telling me, when the offensive player, if he has his plant foot down and it's planted, that becomes a block at that point. So you have to beat him to the spot and anticipate before he plants his foot and starts his motion towards the basket.
Yeah, the majority of that this year, we've seen the call go the way in favor of the offensive player. The officials were looking, excuse me, Coach, the officials were looking at a reset of the shot clock.
Yeah.
The initial shot did not hit the rim. Brennan had an offensive rebound, but the shot clock should not have reset. There's the shot by Williams. Never hit the rim. Shot clock does not reset. The officials have put 11 on the shot clock. Good job by our 3-man officiating crew here this afternoon. Grant Jeffers, Joe Wilbert, and Roland Simmons, our 3 leading us on the floor today. Another turnover, the 3rd for the Lopes here in the first 2 minutes. Can the Wildcats take advantage of it?
You got to hit them right now.
It's really been the issue for ACU here as of late. They generate the turnovers defensively, they just don't score off of them. They'll turn it over here as madness shuffle of the feet. Here's a look at Coach Brett Tanner, his 4th season leading the Wildcats. Of course, that first year for ACU was a special one for him. 25 wins his first year with the Wildcats. A win today will keep ACU above 500, currently even at 15-15. Jacoby Coles, the transfer from TCU. He'll post up Hubbard and a fade away. Too strong. Chance to run. It's Rich Smith fighting through contact and a finish.
Yeah, that's exactly how you beat Grand Canyon, is that right there in the first 10, 15 seconds of a possession. You have to go all the way to the hole.
Bryce Drew was not happy with Grand Canyon's level of intensity on Thursday, even in a win versus Utah Tech. Really discouraged by their first half intensity, as it's Williams, the transfer from UTA, last year's WAC Freshman of the Year as a Maverick, gets his first bucket today.
Sometimes Grand Canyon, they've been good for so long, for so many years, maybe they get a little bored. But it's this time of the year when everyone's fighting for spots. And you can get bored at home.
Hubbard with Harrison, contact, and Ray his first foul on the Hubbard drop. It's been 51 days since the Lopes and Wildcats were on the floor together back in Phoenix on January 16th. It was all GCU that night. A 30-point victory at 88-58, led by 17 at the half. A game that was really over 20 minutes in. Backdoor cut, Williams. Bettiol the assist. ACU's doing a nice job getting to the rim.
Well, yeah, I think Grand Canyon is trying to make up for what they didn't do the other night, and they're giving up back doors. That needs to be fixed. I'm sure it will. Coach Drew will find a way.
Brennan a touch, whistle and a foul, chance for a three-point play. Pick and roll, Brennan finishes on the right block, Bettiol with the contact.
Brennan brings a street mentality to Grand Canyon, and he's a tough guy on this team. You don't want to get in the boxing match with this guy, but he's really good at the high, top of the key, top and elbow, but even deadlier underneath. He's so strong.
Averaging a double-double in WAC play. 11.5 points, 10 rebounds in WAC play, just shy of that on the season, 10.5 and 9.5 on the year. Finishes the three-point play, and we're even at 7.
Okay, now this right here, this possession right here is what we're going to see what we're made of right now early, because they're already setting their defense, and we'll find out real quick if we're going to be able to execute.
Kate Horniker just checked in for Bettiol on the pick and roll. It's a good offensive set. Smith the assist.
And when I say we, I'm making reference to Abilene Christian. But if I'm putting myself on that bench over there to coach.
Now Luke Ward to pick and roll, who just checked in. Christian Alston also on the floor for the Wildcats. Luke Ward is in, as is Caleb Shaw. So there's a miss and a foul. Possession will go with the Wildcats as the foul is on Luke Ward. Good pace in the first 4 minutes. ACU, they've got a 2-point lead here early in Abilene. Back in Abilene, our first media timeout, 15:27 left in the first half. ACU an early 9-7 lead. Andy Penny with the coach, Ron Holmes. Coach, let's take a look at our Texas Ford dealers' keys to the game.
Grand Canyon was going to have to limit turnovers, although they already have 3, and their size and strength, they can overwhelm teams. And Abilene Christian's going to have to create chances and not turn the ball over and don't play like seniors. I mean, play like seniors, but not senior citizens. You got to take that shot right there, Hunter Jack. There you go.
They'll drive to the basket this time. He loses it on the baseline. Possession here for the Lopes. That last possession for GCU, now their 4th turnover. But again, can ACU generate points off of those turnovers? That's really been what's in question over the course of the last few weeks.
Well, I'm going to say the same thing about Grand Canyon, Andy. They have to score early too, like right now. You don't need to move the ball that much because ACU, that plays right into their hand. Like this right here.
Harrison out to Shaw, and it'll work its way around the perimeter. 5 on the clock for Coles. The transfer from TCU goes to work. Gets a step on Horniker and finishes with the left hand.
They're going to try to avoid that. That's too long into the shot clock, although it was successful. It won't work every time. ACU's defense will rise to the occasion if you're going to pass the ball that much.
Hubbard a 3, top of the key. Braden Hubbard has been so good in WAC play. Leads the team now in three-point percentage at 44, his 20th of the year. A guy who's averaging right at 10 points a game. It's at 13 in WAC play. Right back, here comes Williams, contact and a foul.
You know, at some point, Braden's going to make someone's scout report, and like for this right here, it's too open. You have to close out on that right there, and you need to read your scout report.
He's a guy at 6'7", 225. I think you anticipate if he gets going downhill, you're in trouble. So you create the space. But Braden, again, at 44% from 3.
Well, he hasn't been too hesitant to shoot that thing since conference has started.
Bettiol, a quick breather, is back in. Yanni Rivera in for the first time. Where's number 2, the 6'4" sophomore? Ward double team, ball stripped by Williams. 3-on-2. Smith versus Harrison. Great finish.
There you go.
Wildcats are hot out of the chutes.
Which is what they need to be. Now, Grand Canyon needs to mimic that, mirror, and come on down and do the same thing. Except they're trying to execute, which is playing right into ACU's hands. They'll remedy that in a minute.
ACU 5 of their last 7 from the field. Coles this time ISO with Hubbard. Tough fadeaway. It will go the way of the Wildcats. This is what Rich Smith can do, especially in transition. Challenges Harrison and high off the glass.
And Rich Smith probably has about a 40-inch vertical as well. You know, he was a hidden gem in Division II last year.
And the transfer from St. Thomas Aquinas College. First year in an ACU uniform. He'll get his first breather, Nazir DeGru, number 0, the 6'4 junior out of New Orleans. He'll run the point. There's not been much drop-off between Smith and DeGru at the point guard spot. See Styles Phipps in for the first time. He wears number 1 for the Lopes, 6'2 freshman out of Phoenix, a local product. Hubbard, another look, this time for the right wing. Phipps will clear.
Yeah. They're going to stop daring him to shoot. Now they're coming off the high screen and roll looking, I think they're looking, who are they looking for?
It'll be Moore this time.
Yeah.
Deep 3 left side. Moore shoots it at 38%. Misses his first here. Wow. Keon, good elevation and stays up in the air.
Yeah, they're going to, I think Grand Canyon's going to come off these high screens looking for Brennan. Tough guy gets him back into the game. He can carry him for 2-3 possessions.
ACU 7 for 12 from the field to start, 58%. Shaw's been hot from 3 as of late. His last 3's been in double figures. He'll ISO Rivera. And a drop off for Brennan. Nice pass as the double team came on the low block. Brennan an easy finish.
6'7" to 6'10" in the post. That wins a lot of games.
And Shaw last 3 games in double figures. Here come the Wildcats again. Keon Williams going to work. Man on a mission here early. Keon, he's got 7. That's the early lead for the Wildcats as we go under 12.
You know, that ACU didn't start out like this the other night. Now they've started out a majority of their games in the conference on this winning streak like this.
Brennan the O board, fouled up over the top. If it's on Bettiol, that's his second. And it is foul trouble for Leo Bettiol here early, but the Wildcat offense has carried the load thus far. 7-point lead in Abilene.
We have a media timeout on the floor.
And welcome back to Abilene. The Wildcats with an 18-11 lead early in this one. Last night, ACU Athletics announced that general admission tickets to today's game had been sold out. The Wildcats have seen an uptick in attendance recently as they've won 6 of their last 8 games. However, Grand Canyon brought quite the crowd with them to Moody today. We'll see whose fans are louder and make an impact in this one. Guys, back to you.
Yeah, good way to finish the year here. Good crowd on hand for the Wildcats. ACU's put on a nice show. 14 of their 18 points are in the paint. That's the key today.
Yeah, they've read their scouting reports. You have to score early if you're going to stay in the game with these guys. Now Grand Canyon's going to start running here. I'm pretty sure we're going to come out of the timeout and run.
The foul was on Leo Bettiol, his second. Horniker is back in. Wildcats will show a 1-3-1 look with foul on the post. Foul trouble on the post. Bounce pass out. Williams a 3 right side. War another offensive rebound. He's fouled on the putback. He'll put it up and in. And the second opportunity for a 3-point play. The first one went the way of Duke Brennan. Luke War will have a chance here.
Yeah, Grand Canyon's done a nice job. Offensive second opportunities, and that's been the bugaboo for ACU. I think it has a lot to do with their size. They're outsized this afternoon.
Or the transfer from Oregon puts the shot up and good.
Isn't it amazing in the WAC all the kids that have transferred from Power 5 schools?
Morris from Oregon, of course Brennan the transfer from Arizona State, Keon Williams with ACU the transfer from Oklahoma State. Hubbard will drive on War, has it knocked out of his hands, late whistle and a foul. Luka slap of the wrist as he knocked it out of the hands of Hubbard.
Foul right there. They're taking them off the field. They're trying to find lanes, alleys, to get in there and force the action. If you're overmatched, and I think ACU's a tad bit overmatched this afternoon, you've got to score an easy basket. There's nothing easier than a free throw.
First one is good. We talked about Utah Valley and Grand Canyon first and second place. Here's a look at what today looks like. Utah Valley a win, and they're the regular season champions. Grand Canyon a win today, Utah Valley a loss. These two teams will tie for first. They have split their 2 games this year, and the resume rank goes the way of Grand Canyon. So if it were to play out that way, GCU a win, Utah Valley a loss, GCU would be the 1 seed next week in Vegas. Utah Valley would be the 2. That's the only way that happens. The Utah Valley win tonight. They're the outright conference champion. It's another turnover here on the Lopes.
But there's another way to look at that if you're going into the WAC tournament. Everyone's got a shot at the bid, but it's a 1-bid league. So obviously Utah Valley and Grand Canyon are staring at that a little tougher than most everyone else.
And no matter how you look at it, Utah Valley, Grand Canyon will both have their opening game on Wednesday as the 1 and 2 seeds. And if they were to win, they would get an off day on Thursday with the semifinals on Friday and the championship game on Saturday. ACU will have to play 3 days in a row, no matter what seed they finish here, either 4th, 5th, or 6th at the end of the day. Hubbard, a floater, got his own, missed the second. Horniker a tap, but Brennan clears. And contact here is Smith foul as Williams lowered his head.
Williams can sell a foul. He throws first contact when he gets you on his hip, and he had him on the hip on the right side. He throws his head back like he's been pushed around.
Defensive foul called, and that's now Rich Smith's second foul. So Bettiol and Smith with 2. Extended minutes coming here for Horniker and DeGrew, who's back on the floor, as Harrison will hit the baseline jumper 6 feet out. Harrison again, 2,000 points in his career, closing in on 500 assists. Needed 9 to start the day to get to 500. More of the block of Williams.
Right now it's athletic play. He didn't get taken off the dribble. Watch right here. He rises, times it, blocks it.
And now a chance to run. Coles ahead of the defense. Challenged at the rim by Horniker, but Jacoby Coles gets it up and in.
He's a TCU grad. That's another Power 5 transfer to the WAC.
Yep. His first year in a Lopes uniform with NCAA tournament experience with the Horned Frogs 2 years ago. Matter of fact, hit a game winner with a second left to beat Arizona State 2 years ago. Certainly an experienced roster for Grand Canyon when you talk postseason play. Back-to-back WAC conference championships. As Hubbard a jumper right side.
Tough shot right there, but the pace right now is Grand Canyon pace.
Hubbard's up to 7. He and Keon both with 7. Brennan leads the way with 5 for the Lopes. A foul here on Harrison. He'll make his way to the line. Brennan landed hard, but makes his way back up on the floor. Here's the foul. That one will go on Hunter Jack.
That's a tough fall right there. That's a tough guy though, taking a tough fall.
At the line for the Lopes, number 0, Ray Harrison.
Harrison 2 years ago here in Abilene really took over the game, a GCU win 2 years ago. And Bryce Drew was very complimentary of Harrison in that season, the 22-23 season. A year that GCU was battling some injuries. Ray really took over that team 2 years ago, led them to an NCAA tournament through an at-large bid 2 years ago. Southern Utah beat the Lopes in the championship game of the WAC tournament, but GCU still gets in as an at-large.
You know, I'm wondering if Grand Canyon, if they don't win it with their pedigree, if they get an at-large this year.
Be in conversation. Their NCAA ranks in the 90s, as is their Ken Palm. I don't know if that's good enough to pull an at-large this year or not. It's a foul here on the Wildcats. It's on Mashai Hill, who had just checked in. A push of Harrison. It's bonus the rest of the half for the Lopes. Will walk the floor. Ray back to the line to shoot 1-1.
And the same thing that I said about the easy baskets for ACU, it's the same thing for GCU. That's the way you control the pace of the game. Get on the free throw line, make the easy basket. There's nothing easier, we said earlier, than a free throw. And sometimes nothing with more pressure on you than a free throw.
And he'll make the front side.
Well, they were down 7. They're within 1. This one right here ties it.
They led early 2-0. ACU tied it, then took the lead. And this is our first tie since 2-2 early in the contest. ACU's led by as many as 9 here in the first half, but it's an 11-2 run to get us back to even. Williams works on Moore, center of the floor. Jump shot just inside the free throw line. And now a whistle away from the basketball. This might be a push on Brennan. Yeah. Battling for position with Mashai Hill. They'll call it on Brennan.
You know, Keon is dribbling. You might want to say Keon is dribbling a little too much. Williams, I'm talking about for ACU, but he needs to take people off the dribble with his size, especially in this game. He keeps shooting those shots.
Yeah, he'll elevate over Moore this time at the 10-foot jumper left side. Keon's been the offense. He and Braden Hubbard. It's 9 now for Keon in the first half. And another steal for the Wildcats. Madden will lead the break. Over to Hubbard. Finish! And a chance for a three-point play. Too strong going downhill, Braden Hubbard.
Well, this is interesting to me because the pace. We've walked it up now the last 4 or 5 minutes. Now there's some missed shots and they're taking advantage of it. There's always a path to victory. ACU doesn't want to walk it. The Grand Canyon, they don't want to walk it either.
Harrison, his second foul, also took a shot to the mouth. And he'll make his way to the sideline. I think the officials might look at this to see if some sort of flagrant is involved as well. Hubbard the bucket. ACU has a 4-point lead in Abilene. And back here to Abilene, our officials are looking at 2 separate instances where a flagrant might be in question. It started on the ACU defensive end. You'll see the shot right here, Keon Williams to Duke Brennan. That's the first look that the officials are looking at, Williams and Brennan. And then after the steal on the opposite end, Braden Hubbard to finish with Ray Harrison. Harrison takes an elbow to the face from Hubbard. Even though the foul on Harrison and Hubbard to finish, a chance for a three-point play. The common foul is on Harrison and the basket will count, but the officials are doing their due diligence and looking at both of those on both ends. I didn't see much there on either end, but again, our officiating crew doing a fine job, and I think it's worthy of a look on both ends.
Well, I think they always do a good job. You don't ever want to put the game on the referee, but coaches love to. Booster clubs love to.
And typically half of the crowd loves to at the end of the day.
Oh, yeah.
If you're on the losing
side.
By
the way, I want to make a shout out to Grand Canyon. They brought a nice crowd. They travel well.
They did. So the official's going to come over and give us the indicator here as they looked at both. The foul is on Ray Harrison, a common foul on Harrison, and that is his second foul. The basket for Hubbard does count, and Hubbard will be at the free throw line. Coach, what'd you find out?
Well, he wants chicken after the game, and I want a hamburger. He said there's no flagrant. They're going to go with the bucket and then the free throw here at the end when Hubbard tried to finish the layup.
Harrison does stay in the game. I thought he was going to check out, but does stay in the game with 2 fouls. Caleb Shaw did check in during the timeout. And Hubbard into double figures with the free throw. It's the 14th time in 16 WAC games that Hubbard has been in double figures. A little pressure here from the Wildcats. First time we've seen it.
Yeah. They're trying to speed it up a little bit. Grand Canyon right now is trying to settle on their half court like this right here. Harrison is he's quite the take you off the dribble kind of player.
Skip pass over to Shaw, his first look from 3. He's been hot from 3 as of late. He misses that one. He's made 6 of his last 7 coming into today over the course of the last 3 games.
You know, there's not as many screens, or they're missing, or they're going over screens like that right there. It's too easy.
Hubbard will go to work on Shaw. Dontrez Williams, 3 on the clock. Desperation shot from Matt, and it counts on senior day. Shot clock running out. Hunter Jack throws it up and makes it.
Threw up a prayer. 2 Christian schools throwing up prayers.
It's an 8-0 Wildcat run after GCU tied us at 22.
Look at this spacing. Now, Grand Canyon does a great job of spacing the ball. That's why you can take someone off the dribble or you can backdoor people.
Pick and roll, Brennan. Up and under, got it to go.
I think he took a step or 2 on the boardwalk.
Right back, here comes Dontrez, and Williams is fouled. Here's a look at that desperation 3 again, Hunter Jack Madden. Sometimes on senior day, they'll take care of you. A little step back. Out of form, but it all counts the same.
Hey, that's a horse shot. That shot right there, Andy, is a shot that your stud takes, but your managers take it as well, and your manager will win 9 out of 10.
Dontrez at the line, the 6'5" freshman, had a great freshman campaign up to this point. The freshman from Sykeston, Missouri, 5.5 points a game.
And at this point in the year, you know, those 2 freshmen at the ACU, they're not freshmen anymore. In name only.
Dontrez has played in all 31 games, averages about 15 minutes a game. 2 for 2 at the line.
They backed off the full court pressure. It was one and done.
Williams runs the point. Shaw with a step. Down the baseline, Ward throws it away. Keon Williams one-on-one. And Makai Williams slaps him on the hand, and Keon will get to the line. The NCAA leader in steals, ACU, and they get one here. It leads to free throws for Keon.
I'd have to go to the stat book to see the last time Grand Canyon was down 10 and a half. I know they've lost some games where they've probably been a little overmatched themselves, but in the WAC, I don't know about that.
Their last loss was a month ago today at California Baptist. It's a game that GCU jumped out, had a big lead in the first half early, but CBU caught fire, took control of that game, ended up winning by 14. That's the last time the Lopes have been on the downside, 85-71. They're down 10 here with 6:20 left first half.
That just showed Coach Drew on the sideline down there thinking about all this.
Shaw with a step.
It's not his first rodeo. He'll figure it out.
Dontrez, entry pass, Hill, tough catch, bodies on the floor. Makai Williams out of the pile with it.
A good pass in traffic. Hill's got to be able to handle that.
4 ACU turnovers compared to 7 for Grand Canyon. Williams works pick and roll with Brennan. He'll attack all by himself, rolls out. And possession to ACU.
You know, I'd like to say that ACU's playing a little over their head, but I really don't believe they are. This is the way ACU's done when they won 5 in a row. It was just its competition's a little different, but they were doing this very thing. Maybe they've grown up a little bit.
Well, the major difference between this and 36 hours ago was intensity level. Just all sorts of flat versus Utah Valley on Thursday. Rivera a 3 left side. And that's bonus points off the bench. Yanni Rivera a 3. Bryce Drew a timeout. Wildcats an 11-point lead. That's an easy finish on the left side. Nobody closes out on Rivera. That's too easy.
I believe that's why we have a timeout, because they have to come with high hands on those shots right there. We mentioned this earlier. Hubbard sat there and shot an uncontested 3. You can't do that. I don't care who you are. You cannot do that. And it's contagious. It's infectious. If someone hits a 3 that doesn't normally hit a 3, you start thinking this may be our day.
And you can see again, just fighting through the screen. That's too slow by Makai Williams.
He came high hands, but he didn't move his feet. And it's not like they're going to take you off the dribble. And if you get down deep into the shot clock, they have to take that shot.
ACU is 3 for 4 from 3. A Hubbard 3, a Madden 3, and now a Rivera 3. GCU has yet to hit a triple today. They're 0 for 4.
I haven't seen the stats yet, but I would imagine ACU shooting close to 55% or so from the floor.
57. 13,
oh, are they really? Okay.
13 of 23. Coles will go to work on Hubbard.
Jacoby Cole.
Coles looking for a foul on the inside, and now a steal and another finish. Phipps. There's some intensity out of the timeout in a quick 4-0 run.
That timeout did some good.
And now an offensive foul on Hubbard. Trying to set a screen on Phipps. And now Brett Tanner wants a timeout, 30-second timeout.
Timeout, ACU.
Oh,
The 30-second timeout works just a minute ago for Coach Drew. Brett Tanner needs an additional 30-second timeout. First offense by Coles. Then the steal of the inbounds pass, and Phipps gets the finish after he steals the inbound.
well, and Coles took him off the dribble. Coles brought about 250 pounds in there, right there, in the whack. That works it with mid-range guards like that in this league.
Of course, Coles, the Texas product out of Denton, Texas. We talked about the transfer from TCU, but he played his high school ball in Denton, played at Denton-Guyer High School. Same high school as ACU women's player Bella Earl. I asked him, were you classmates with Bella Earl? He said, yes, we were classmates at Denton-Guyer. Then he told me, he said, hey, the Guyer Wildcats are playing for a Class 6A state championship today in boys basketball down in San Antonio. I wanted to give a shout out to the Guyer Wildcats. So Jacoby Coles paying attention to you Guyer Wildcats. Turnover for GCU out of the timeout. AC is going to give it right back.
For the run of the floor. Yeah, I mean, that's a turnover you can live with right there. You run with a purpose, pass with a purpose.
8 turnovers on GCU, 7 on ACU. Isolate the floor again. Coles on Hubbard. Spin, contact, and a foul.
Smart basketball. Great, great coaching. You isolate, you get a switch, you take him one-on-one like this right here. Good footwork. Hubbard did foul him on the way up. You know, the Drew family, his brother is at Baylor. His dad was at
Valparaiso.
Valparaiso,
Yes, sir.
Valpo, yes. They've got quite a little coaching tree themselves.
Of course, Scott having another nice year in the gauntlet of the Big 12.
Yeah.
They should be in March Madness here in a week or so. Coles misses the free throw. Called the foul on the floor, so bonus 1 and 1.
Take that shot.
Madden left alone, top of the key. His second triple here in the first half.
Yeah, that's ACU starting to believe they've caught lightning in a bottle in one half.
4 for 5 from deep.
And we still have 4 minutes to go, Andy.
Vastly different from Phoenix in January. It's Horniker the foul, more free throws for Grand Canyon. ACU only scored 21 in the first half in Phoenix. They've got 40 here in the first half. Hunter Jack Madden left alone top of the key. You can't do that. Wildcats, a 10-point lead in Abilene.
Leader in healthcare, combining medicine, ministry, and research, providing high-quality healthcare for every patient in West Central Texas, expressing our mission through service consistent with the healing ministry of Jesus Christ, advancing medicine and healthcare through clinical research. In 1924, Hendrick Health was founded by pioneering West Texans who believed in caring for each other. That legacy lives on today, together for better health.
40-30, Wildcats with the 10-point lead. It's Phipps at the line here for Grand Canyon. It's double bonus for GCU the rest of this first half. Foul trouble's an issue here for Grand Canyon. Or for ACU, my apologies. Mediol with 2, Smith with 2, Hubbard also with 2. Hey, let's send it courtside with Roman Raffelli. Roman?
Thanks, Andy. On December 9th, the Wildcats took on number 25 Baylor Bears and head coach Scott Drew. ACU lost that game 57-88, and today they'll take on Scott Drew's little brother Bryce, the head coach of the Lopes. Bryce Drew comes in today 5-1 against the Cats and look to follow in his big brother's example with the win today. Andy, back to you.
Yeah, as Coach Holmes was talking about, a great coaching tree, coaching family with the Drews. There's a look at Bryce. He'll have a healthy conversation at half if this continues. Wildcats back up by 11.
You know, I don't know Bryce, but I know his dad and his brother. And that's one of the nicest families. Now, ACU's gone to zone to change the pace, and it didn't work.
1-3-1 with a hole in it. Attack and drop. Cole's an easy finish.
Yeah, Grand Canyon does a nice job. They're so well coached. And we brag on the Drews, but nice job.
Madden a step. Knocked out of his hands from behind.
You know, you may be wondering why Hunter Jack would go to the hole and get that thing blocked. You have to draw attention to yourself in this game, and you have to go. You have to be committed to going all the way in there, taking the tough shot.
Now, Harrison cheated on the anticipating the roll and the potential pass to Mediol. They'll get a step again on Harrison. The spin, the fade.
Tough shot.
Cole's the clear. Coles is kind of taking over offensively. Extra dribble and a foul on Horniker and more free throws.
That may be the understatement of the half. He has taken over, hadn't he? It's a big man.
And the last few possessions here have gone through Jacoby Coles. Free throws number 10 and 11 here in the first half for GCU. GCU, one of my favorite stats when you look is they have made more free throws than their opponents have even attempted. So many times they've been to the line this year. They've made 540 free throws. Their opponents have only attempted 530.
Well, you can see why they take you off the dribble so much like that. But they shoot 10 less or make less 10 free throws on the road than they do at home.
1-for-2 trip. They are 6th in the country in free throws made per game, 18.5. Lob pass for Madden almost made it. If that goes as a shot, that's only the second missed 3 of the first half for ACU. Coles again on Horniker. A whistle and a jump ball. Possession will stay with the Lopes.
Yeah, I think ACU's complaining that was a foul earlier.
It didn't stop the clock either. The clock's still running. The whistle didn't feel like a full whistle.
Yeah, I think you got their attention, Andy.
Yeah, the clock didn't stop. It should be a solid 20 extra seconds. And the clock didn't stop on the official's whistle, so the officials will have to go take a look at this. It should be around the 2:20 to 2:15 mark.
It's a good stoppage of play for both. Saves timeout if you're coaching.
See a look at the replay again on the Horniker foul on Coles. You can see on the far end the clock above the goal, 2:23, 2:22. There's the foul, or the jump ball. It's around 2:18, 2:17, somewhere in that area, but the clock never stopped when the jump ball was called. Both teams are over 50% shooting. ACU at 54, that's 15 of 28. Grand Canyon's at 50, 13 of 26. Major difference has been the Wildcat three-point shooting. They've got 4 threes compared to 0 for GCU. They put 2:19 back on the clock.
That's a good call, Andy. You caught that.
This feels like a big 2:19. ACU's played so well. Can they carry it out to the halftime break?
Let's see if he takes this one off the dribble.
The pass over to Harrison as the double team comes, and Harrison the three.
They're so dangerous.
First triple today for GCU. And Harrison the first lope in double figures with 11.
Now ACU needs to they need to answer on this possession right here.
Williams on Cole. Over to DeGrew with a step, a jumper from 6 out.
Yeah, they answer. Good answer.
And the step on Colin Moore.
You know, they're taking contested shots, but they're getting some lift, which there's some space in there for them.
Luke Ward a three, left side. Ward's a 35% three-point shooter. His 30th three of the year. Madden Losting gets it back. Williams, three, left side, left it short.
Let's see if they score this possession. That'd be 3 fantastic possessions in a row for Grand Canyon if they score on this. The last 2 have ended in made threes.
Cole's downhill, gets to the rim. That's a tough stop, Jacoby Coles.
Cut that to 2.
He's got 11. What was an 8-point lead at the 2-minute mark is down to 2.
Yeah, take your time now if you're ACU.
Entry pass, stolen, deflected. GCU can take the lead, whistle though, and a travel on Ward.
They can get you out of sorts. They've scored, well, they've had, what, 3 or 4 really good, nice possessions since the stoppage of play.
Ward disagrees with that travel call. It's turnover number 9 here in the first half. Shot clock is off. Wildcats will get the final possession of the first half. ACU has led 18 of the 20 minutes here in the first half. Their largest lead was at 11. But GCU, 3 of their last 3 field goals, 2 of those are three-pointers.
Do you go with a 3 here, Andy? You've got house money.
Try to attack and kick. It's pick and roll, it's stolen. GCU with time. Phipps to War. We're tied at the half. A 13-2 run for the Lopes to end the first half. We're square right where we started. It's ACU 44 and GCU 44. Both teams are over 50% in the first half. GCU at 17 of 30, 57%. ACU at 16 of 29. They are 55% in the first half. Brett Tanners with Roman Raffelli. Roman, it's all yours.
Coach, tied at half. What'd you see in that first half?
I mean, I thought we had great energy and enthusiasm the whole half until they made their run. We kind of lost our juice, and then we got careless, man. We can't do that. We've got to settle in. We had some serious foul trouble. Guys on the bench have to be ready to come in and help us. You know what I mean? I thought we lost our energy and our enthusiasm when we had to go to the bench.
What are you going to tell you guys at half?
Exactly that. Next, everybody's got to be ready to go, man. You can't beat a team like Grand Canyon unless all 15 guys are locked in.
All right, thank you, Coach. Good luck. Guys, back to you.
Hey, thanks, Roman. 44 apiece on the final day of the regular season, ACU and GCU. Halftime coming up. WAC basketball here on ESPN+. All even at halftime. ACU and Grand Canyon tied at 44 here at the halftime break. Keon Williams for the Wildcats has 11 points in the first half. ACU TV's Zion Webb sat down with Keon earlier this week to get more on Wildcat basketball.
With some icing on this cake.
So Keon, getting recruited out of high school, originally going to Oklahoma State, can you tell me about that experience and then the decision to come to Abilene?
It was a good experience, you know, because I feel like I was the first person in my family to get this type of recognition. I didn't want to just like be too big-headed about it, but I also wanted to like remain humble about it. So it was a lot of things that came with it, but overall it was a great experience.
And then coming to Abilene, how'd you get here?
So as you guys know, it's two guys on the team, well, on the staff that's from Arkansas, Coach Cam and Coach Ted Crash. So them guys had already knew me coming out of high school and stuff before I moved to Texas. And then I felt like this was like a perfect stopping stone for me, like a stepping point for me, because I had made like a few decisions I feel like wasn't a good one. So this one, open-minded, open guy first type of school. So I feel like this was the perfect fit for me.
And then you talked about your head coach previously and Coach Tanner you have now, and he's talked about your selflessness and then your ability to be coached from day one. That doesn't come from a lot of Power 5 transfers, he said. It seems like you guys have a special relationship.
We do got a special relationship because, like you said, I'm the only Power 5 transfer, so he holds high expectations for me, but also I have high expectations for him. I want him to coach me to the best of his abilities. It brings a special relationship in my eyes because we both want to win. We both got the same type of mindset, and we both good guys. If we put two good guys together, they also going to make a good outcome. So that's why we just went on a 5-game win streak.
Has there been a special memory for you so far?
I would say the whole thing has been special to me because it's like the first school I ever been at that we praise God this much. So like it also helped me open up to God more. So that was special. Then coming from a big school to a smaller campus, the community like I got a class named my communication class. This teacher named John Kemp. He also talked to me about basketball a lot. So I just feel like that was special because at Oklahoma State, I didn't even think the teachers came to the games. Even though we wasn't doing good early, John Kemp still came to the games. The community is really involved.
There's a gauntlet of folks that support you guys in the community like you talked about earlier. But I saw you repping a sub-T hat during a post game. Can you talk about the subbers' role in y'all's success this season?
I want to shout out my teammate, Jack Sawyer, go sub-T. He just played sub-T, so I feel like with Jack and sub-T coming, they help a lot. Like they bring a lot of energy to the game that we feed off. I just feel like they bring a big 6-man. They not on the court, but they on the court. I feel like that's a very key aspect to our game.
And then being fairly new to Abilene, you kind of become a leader for this team. You steer the ship pretty much for the Wildcats. Can you just give me an idea of what's to come, like down the stretch of this 24-25 season?
Good team basketball is coming during the stretch. We always say, Mark 9:23, anything is possible if you believe, so we just believe in each other. I'll just say believing in each other goes a long way.
And back inside Moody Coliseum, we'll get ready to start the second half. All square at 44 apiece. Andy Penny with the coach, Ron Holmes. Coach, both teams are hotter than a rocket. 57% for Grand Canyon, 55% for ACU.
Yeah.
ACU had an 11-point lead. Grand Canyon ends hot. We're square at 44.
Yeah, they mirror one another. They're both running, and then they're running half-court sets. Now that really plays more into Grand Canyon than it does ACU in the half-court. But getting up and down and running 44-44, that's an exciting game.
As you can see, 2 in double figures for both teams. Keon Williams with 11. Braden Hubbard has 10. Ray Harrison 11, Jacoby Coles 11. I thought Coles kind of took over there, getting him the ball down in the post and letting him go to work for the Lopes.
Yeah, he did inside the last 2 minutes. He probably took 3 or 4 possessions, and you could see that coming.
As he has 11, Harrison again with 11, and here's a look at some of the shots. ACU did a great job, I thought, of attacking the rim early, penetrating. They mixed in some threes. Hunter Jack Madden had 2 threes, and points in the paint for both teams. Grand Canyon with 28-22 for ACU in the paint as well. We're all square at 44. Bryce Drew is courtside with Roman. Roman, it's all yours. Take it.
Thanks, Andy. Tied at half, Coach. What did you see from your team in that first half?
Abilene played great first half. Again, we turned it over too much. We rebounded better the last 10 minutes. Our defense got better. Got to do it in the second half.
What do you expect from your guards without Ty and Grant Foster today?
We definitely missed some other guys who are stepping up. We got to do it all half. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Coach. Good luck. Guys, back to you.
Smith has 2 fouls, as does Leo Bettiol, Cade Horniker, and Braden Hubbard, all with 2 fouls. Ray Harrison, the only Lope that has 2 fouls. And a deeper bench for GCU. Rich Smith, the first jumper of the second half, well short.
Yeah. They're going to have these first possessions for ACU and GCU are critical.
And Coles 11, Harrison 11. Luke War had 8 points in the first half off of the bench. Duke Brennan had 7. 3 for Phipps, 2 for Shaw, and 2 for Williams. First 2 of the second half go the way of GCU.
Well, they found something that worked in the first half, closing out the first half. Just go back to it.
Coles gets the first jumper, and now Rich Smith turnover. Shuffled the feet. It's called for a travel. Turnover number 11.
Good start for Grand Canyon. Tough shot. Took a little step, 2 steps.
Williams 11, Hubbard 10. Hunter Jack with those 2 threes had 6 in the first half. Bettiall with just 4 on 2 of 3 shooting, was limited in foul trouble, just played 8 minutes. Harrison misses the 3 on the left side. See if Leo gets a touch. Hubbard go downhill. He'll find Leo in the block. Reverse. Brennan challenged. Leo left it short.
Yeah, those shots right there, those are killers.
Williams has it stripped. Keon by himself with Moore, 1-on-1. Reverse is good.
Yeah, that's the way you start the second half. That's the way they did the first half. That's a good start.
GCU looking for a win today and a UVU loss to share the conference regular season championship. Coles a jumper.
It's going to be Cole's day. He's come home. He's as close to home as he's been, I guess, unless he goes to Stephenville.
And right back, Bettiall with the finish.
That's why we had 40-plus points for each team in the first half. They're breaking each other down. They're skirting by double teams, and they're not allowing the other school, either team, to double. He'll pull that one.
Doesn't shoot from deep often. Left that one off the front of the rim. One and done trip as ACU clears. Madden challenging Harrison. Saw that a few times in the first half. Gets in trouble. Whistle. And I believe a foul call here on Moore.
I think it's a verticality. Yeah, it was verticality.
Yeah.
You can't close in on them like that. I don't understand that rule, but more power to them.
And this one blocked by Coles. Hubbard gets it back. Second chance up and in.
Strong move. That's a weight room move. You're going to need a few more weight room moves by both schools in this one.
Hubbard now with 12. Boy, he and Coles pounding down on the inside. They're going pound for pound in the scoring category. Now they're going pound for pound physicality on the floor. They'll ISO again. Brennan the floater. Comes out, Smith clears. Wildcats will push. Rich lost it, contact and a foul though.
You know, I was thinking if I were Grand Canyon right now, I would have gone to Brennan a little earlier than that, but Bettiall with the foul trouble in the first half.
Let's see again here, Coles the better of Hubbard on the first. Hubbard the better of Coles on the follow.
Tough play.
Shaw and War, their first action of the second half.
Little ball reversals, clear out of side. Got him. He's showing you numbers,
yeah. Boy, Bettiall looking for it.
They show numbers. You got to get him the ball.
Shaw able to deflect the pass and get the steal. Harrison now lost the dribble. Tried to go behind the back. He lost it. Whistle and a turnover right back. They'll call a carrying violation on Rich Smith.
Well, let's see if he does.
See the behind the back dribble here. Harrison loses. That's a tough call.
That's a tough call.
Home crowd certainly not a fan of
no.
that last whistle.
Again, if you're going to run half court against ACU, you're going to get in trouble a little. Yeah, there you go.
Now whistle and a charge call.
Yeah.
Williams cleared with the off forearm. A little push on Smith and got caught.
Yeah, if you're going to call it in the first two, call it in the last two. So we'll see if that call maintains it's life.
Well, it was an offensive first half. Feels much more physical and defensive our first 4 minutes of the second half. Bettiol with Brennan. Brennan let him go. Bettiol finishes.
You know, Andy, you mentioned physicality. Either team, any team, if you don't bring physical to the game, no amount of execution is going to really help.
Keon reach in his first. It'll take us to our under 16 timeout. ACU and Leo Bettiol, they've built a 4-point lead. 16 to go. The foul trouble limited Leo's numbers there in the first 20 minutes, but he's come out with a vengeance here in half number 2.
Well, if I'm Grand Canyon, I go after Leo. I throw the ball into Duke Brennan and let Duke try to take Leo. It's a tad bit of a mismatch. 2 inches physicality make a difference.
Coles will get a breather as he is checked out.
Little zone action.
Maybe 2-3 zone look. Fred Tanner talks about last Saturday in Arlington versus UTA. His coaching staff convinced him to play a few possessions of zone, and it threw UTA into a clouded look. They didn't know how to respond. Harrison has to throw one up as the shot clock runs out, but an offensive rebound and a putback Shaw.
And the zone work except for the 50-50 ball.
Shaw has 4. Bettiol loses the dribble out of bounds. It's a turnover.
Yeah. I would come back to Brennan.
Athletic play, Shaw in the extra chance.
You know, I watched Shaw in pregame. That kid can jump out of the gym. A one and done on the zone.
He'll get it again on a backdoor cut. Back-to-back buckets for the redshirt sophomore, Caleb Shaw. Our 5th tie this afternoon. Lob pass to Bettiol over the top. Back-to-back turnovers on the Wildcats.
I know they work on the lob. A pocket pass might not have been too bad right there. They get him isolated. Backdoor. That's on the scouting report. You got to be aware of that. Andy, come on. You got to be aware of the backdoor.
I fell asleep. Harrison this time will drive. Too strong, wanted a foul call, didn't get the foul. Williams to Rivera. He's already hit 1 today. If he follows that, he gets his own rebound.
Leo's got to be aware of that 3rd foul.
Deep shot, War. Grand Canyon led early, but that's it. Now a lob pass. Fred Tanner unhappy with that pass.
Top of the key 3, no.
Shaw's been the hot hand. He'll pass up the 3.
Work and shoot the 3 as well.
7 on the clock for Phipps. And Rivera a bump. The foul on Yanni. Be his first.
I want to watch. Yeah, well, now watch his hands. Watch his hands. When they go under, that's a foul. You're making contact. You're trying to hold. That's going to be called every time.
Quick breather for Coles. He's back on the floor. Horniker is in for ACU. War downhill, lost it. Horniker deflects it and collects it. War gets it back. He'll challenge. Second chance not there. How about a 3rd? Shaw. 4th time. Tapped out by Horniker. Boy, Shaw wanted a call.
Yeah, he did. He's going to get a technical. Careful. He is going to get a call.
Thought he might have had a valid point. But the whistle stays.
ACU trying to move that defense around, find a lane.
So whistle stays quiet. Entry pass and a kick. Reset the shot clock here to 20. Yeah, here's that long sequence here against Shaw wanting some contact. Ward the steal. Shaw not once,
You know, Andy,
not twice, not 3 times.
Watching Shaw, he reminds me a lot of you. You get that kind of elevation.
It's been a long time since I've seen that elevation. Typically, trampolines involved. Here's Keon, blocked at the rim.
That's good defensive possession. Let's see if he takes one.
Shaw left alone, a 3 in the corner. And a Brett Tanner timeout.
ECU.
Caleb Shaw, 7 points in the second half. He's got 9 for the game. Grand Canyon taking the lead here at Abilene. It's a 7-0 run by GCU, and Caleb Shaw has fueled it. 3-pointer in the corner to give the Lopes the lead.
Yeah, Caleb Shaw's got a great motor. He likes to hesitate a little bit when he's got the ball in his hands, try to take you off the dribble, but he's made all the difference in the world here in the last 3 or 4 possessions, defensively and offensively.
9 points for the game, 7 here in the first 5 minutes of the second half, or 7 minutes of the second half. The 7-0 run, again, has put GCU on top. Shaw, a guy who, on the year, just over 6 points a game, but each of the last 3 has been in double figures. Had 13 versus Utah Tech on Thursday. Hubbard misses, but able to save it in. He's got it back on the baseline from 10. Braden Hubbard's been consistent today.
That was great ball movement right there by the Wildcats, and it came off a second chance opportunity.
5 for 10 from the field. He leads the Wildcats with 14. Colin Moore's back in. Wore a spin, missed the shot, gets it back, missed the second, taps the third.
Those are killers. I mean, you're an absolute winner if you can do that.
And Ward, the 3rd Lope in double figures. Bettiol right back, too strong.
Well, let's see if Cole's going to take him off the dribble. Nope. That's a carry.
Spread the floor.
Good spacing.
Phipps asks for a screen. Coles with 8, works on Bettiol. And the baby hook, up and good.
Another weight room move right there by Coles. Fine player, very, very strong.
I feel like GCU is starting to get in their rhythm.
Yeah, they are.
GCU really dictated the first 20 minutes. GCU starting to take over here in the second half.
They don't struggle to score near as much in these possessions.
Hubbard with contact, a charge call here on, or check that, a block call on Shaw. It'll take us to our under 12 timeout. Grand Canyon, their largest lead of the afternoon. 11:16 left, they lead by 5.
You know,
GCU the 5-point lead as we go under the 12-minute timeout. 11:16 left here this afternoon. And again, Coach, I think Grand Canyon's really taken over the tempo, the pace, the control here in the second half.
Yeah, it feels like that, right? It's the ACU struggles. They work a little bit harder to score than the Grand Canyon, but then again, Grand Canyon's getting second shot opportunities.
Nazir DeGrew at the point guard spot. Comes in during the media timeout. Hands it off to Bettiol. Pass is deflected and into the hands of Moore.
That's a tough possession right there. That's a great possession for Grand Canyon. They're forcing Bettiol to be a passer instead of a shooter.
Shaw pick and roll. Brennan. Whistle and a foul on Hubbard. Be Braden's 3rd. He's the first Wildcat with 3. We talked about the foul trouble at halftime. Yeah. Multitude of guys with 2. That's the first Wildcat to get 3 fouls.
You know, the cardinal rule in basketball is come down, have a down motion with your hands. That's a foul, even if it's not.
Coles left his feet. Bad pass, chance for Keon. One-on-one with Moore. Missed it, Madden follows. Transition offense.
Yeah.
Off another steal.
The 3-point opportunities for AC are not going to be there so much in the half court. They're going to have to get out and run like they did the first half if they want to get the 3 points.
Bryce Drew wants a timeout. This feels more like a substitution timeout. Wants to get Ray Harrison back on the floor. Timeout in Abilene. GCU by 3. Quick 30-second timeout for Bryce Drew, and again, it's more of a substitution timeout. I think Coach Drew wanted to get Ray Harrison back on the floor to run the point. He checks in for Phipps.
I think he wanted to do that. I think he always wants to remind his team of that move right there for Brennan to go back door and Leo Betty on and get that, pick up that another crucial foul.
Williams a step back, short on the jumper. Brennan collects and slams it down with the right hand. DeGrew had it.
Yes.
Brennan stripped it.
Well, you know, when you're in first place or second place, that's what teams that then do that.
Now Coles picks the pocket of Madden, whistle, and a jump ball call. Possession is facing GCU. Again, looked like DeGrew had the defensive rebound. Brennan just stripped it away from him.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a weight room move.
Rich Smith back in at the point guard spot. DeGrew will get a breather.
It's definitely Grand Canyon pace, Andy.
Yeah. ACU as hot as they were in the first half shooting, just not quite there in the field goal percentage here in the second half. 5 of 12 to start. Shaw, the hot hand, second half, too strong on this 3. Smith, center of the floor, 3 on 5. Hubbard wanted to drive, ran right into Coles. Gets it back with a step.
Go to the hole.
Contact. Whistle to charge this time. And that's Braden Hubbard's 4th.
Yeah, it's a tough.
Coles takes the charge.
That is a good move by Coles. Was he in the circle? I didn't see if he was in the circle.
I think he was outside the restricted area.
Good.
And Braden now with 4. On the offensive firepower for ACU today. We'll have to check out with this 4th foul.
It goes back to what Coach Tanner said, too. The bench is going to have to step up.
Shaw attacks Bettiol. Dontrez Williams, who came in for Hubbard, into the front court. Down the baseline. And a foul call on the baseline.
Yeah, that's what we've been talking about. You have to go 94 feet. You have to go in as deep as you can and make him commit, and then make a play. If you're going to move the ball around on the half court like they're going to have to do right here, they're going to get wise to all of your moves.
They'll call that foul on Harrison, his 3rd. Curious to see if Hunter Jack might attack Harrison with 3 fouls.
Got to go the hole.
Dontrez downhill. They'll stay with the Wildcats. Shot clock will reset back to 20.
Right here, go to the hole. Don't pick it up. Go to the hole. That would have been a block. Just put your head down, go to the hole. There you go.
Will go to the hole, and Brennan will get called for the foul here.
Andy, I apologize. I'm coaching over here on the side.
Love it.
If ACU doesn't go to the hole, if they don't put their head down and go to the hole, they do not have a chance. Grand Canyon is much better in the half court.
Brennan's 2nd. It's team foul number 6. Wildcats will be in the bonus the rest of the way. Leo isolated with Brennan. Baby hook too strong.
Yeah.
Brennan's not really contesting in the air. He's keeping his feet. As Harrison fouled and a chance for a 3-point play.
Great move. Great move. That's the Grand Canyon that I think everyone came to see, this right here.
Keats Williams off the dribble and able to get the shot up before the help can get there in time. Harrison, the senior, the transfer from Presbyterian, his 100th game in a Grand Canyon uniform today. 2,000-point score over his career. 1,500 of those have been with GCU.
Yeah, if ACU has a chance, they're going to have to string together about 4 or 5 trips.
Pass deflected here by Williams. It'll take us to our under 8 timeout. Grand Canyon, their largest lead here this afternoon. They lead by 8, 7:53 remaining here in Abilene.
Used to call some of my games.
Welcome back to Moody Coliseum. The Lobes with a 64-56 lead here with 7:53 left in the second half. The Lobes playing without Tyan Grant Foster today. He's missed their last 4 games so far this season, this being his 5th, and in 22 games for the Lobes this year. He leads the team in points per game with 14.6. Look for seniors Jacoby Coles and Ray Harrison to continue to step up in his absence here today. Guys?
Yeah, thanks, Roman. All indicators are that Tyan Grant Foster will be available in Las Vegas next week for the WAC tournament. GCU, their first game on Wednesday. They'll either be the 1 seed or the 2 seed. A win today and a Utah Valley loss. It's co-conference champions, and GCU the 1 seed. A Utah Valley win tonight or an ACU win today, and Utah Valley is the conference champion by themselves, and GCU would be the 2 seed.
Yeah, GCU's in the groove defensively and offensively, although they gave one up right there.
Smith the bucket, now Harrison the turnover.
Just as soon as I say that, I jinx them.
And a quick substitution as Bryce Drew gets Jacoby Coles back on the floor.
Well, ACU's going to have to put together some trips, piggyback, and score.
ACU made 4 threes in the first half, just 0 for 1 here in the second half. They got to the free throw line 9 times in the first half, 8 of 9. They have yet to be to the charity stripe here in half number 2. Madden from 15, it's a 4-0 run into the timeout.
Yeah, they're going to need 2 or 3 more trips like that, 2 or 3 more stops consecutive.
The seniors got 10, the third Wildcat double figure. Starts on this end for the home team. Coles isolated with Williams. And through the legs of Brennan, back-to-back turnovers by the Lobes.
That's a good strategy.
So look at Hunter Jack. Gets around the screen, the extra dribble, fadeaway jump shot.
He's been pretty quiet in the second half. He made an appearance.
Betty-All, backdoor cut, reverse, good, whistle and a foul. Dontrez Williams.
Yeah. What's that, the 3rd trip in a row now that they scored? It's exactly what the doctor ordered for them to get back into this game.
Betty-All caught it off his post. There's the high block. And Coles got caught watching the entry pass to Betty-All. Dontrez cuts the baseline. It's an easy finish.
Now, if I'm Grand Canyon, I'm going to go inside to Brennan. I'm going to have to do something about Betty-All.
It's a 7-0 Wildcat run. They're back within 1.
They're going to go down to Coles again. Grand Canyon will, but ACU will run 2 at him.
2-man game with Harrison and Coles. Mismatch on the switch. Whistle, charge call.
Yeah, that's a call. It was there.
And the size mismatch made it that much more obvious on the body contact.
Watch ACU. They're going to run 1 or 2 at him. There you go. There's one. Here comes another one. He has to regroup and then he charges it. If he gets his left shoulder turned, he's deadly. He's just too much for Hunter Jack Madden to guard. Okay, now this hadn't exactly been ACU's strength, but it has the last 3 or 4 trips. These half-court offenses.
Chance to take the lead here. Under 6 we go. Tough catch. Madden gets it back. Fortunate break. 8 on the clock for Keon. Madden to Betty-All. Fouled at the rim.
Wow. ACU is showing some stuff that I haven't seen all year in some half-court execution. Dangerous pass.
That's the 4th on Harrison.
Now, losing Harrison for Grand Canyon does more damage to Grand Canyon than someone fouling out for ACU, in my opinion.
He's got 4, Brennan has 3. ACU has been able to stay out of foul trouble in the second half with the exception of Hubbard, who has 4. It's a 9-0 Wildcat run. They have the lead back with 5:43.
But I'm going to tell you what, in Grand Canyon right now, they're wishing they had Tyon Grant Foster. They could have used him right now.
Team that's 7-0 without him, but struggling here until Luke Ward, 3 right side.
He calls it.
His second 3 today. He's got 13. Right back, Dontrez Williams.
That's a Hutton Harris move right there. We call that weight room. All the way to the hole.
We were tied at 44 at the half. We're tied at 67 with 5 minutes left. Harrison, a bump on Smith and the foul call.
Good call.
It's team foul number 6. See Dontrez just a step on Ward.
Now watch him take the contact. There you go. He took the contact. That's why I call it weight room.
Team foul number 6. Inbound on the baseline. Harrison squares up a 3. Betty All will clear. It's Leo's first rebound today. Keon a spin, a reverse. Smith will clear it. Madden the 3. Got it!
Wow.
Hunter Jack Madden the 3, his 3rd today. Time's called here on the floors. Rich Smith got poked in the eye, but give Smith credit, the offensive rebound. And Hunter Jack in rhythm hits the 3.
Incredible. Hunter Jack disappears, and then he gets himself right back in the thick of things with a 2 and now a 3. And a 3-point lead for the Wildcats.
Really struggled the midpoint of the season. As a matter of fact, in Phoenix, Hunter Jack did not score. He's got 13 today. The foul here on DeGrew. It's bonus free throws for the Lopes.
Yeah, DeGrew, he cupped his hands again. They're trying to grab inside and hold him from going around. These guys, especially Williams, if he gets you on his hip, you're dead. He'll go all the way to the hole.
Williams has been quiet today. Just 2 points. He misses the free throw. Possession to the Wildcats. Grand Canyon led by 8. It's now a 14-3 run over just 3 minutes here for ACU.
Okay, now second chance opportunities. That's what will win this game. Second shots.
A win today and ACU finishes 4th in the conference. Madden another 3. Whistle. Got to be either jump ball or a GCU foul. If they call it jump ball, I didn't think anybody had possession.
Yeah,
I think jump ball call.
Possession arrow goes to the Wildcats.
Get an ACU win today, and the Wildcats will be the 4th seed in Las Vegas. Could drop to 5th or 6th with a loss. Tarleton and Seattle U in that conversation. Brett Tanner talks about 3 through 6 and said, we're all 3 through 6. It just, we don't know if we're going to wear the home white jersey or the road colored jersey.
Well, it hadn't really mattered.
Betty All, offensive foul. Brennan takes the charge.
Yeah. I thought Brendan would get to pick up the draw the foul off of him and the other end of the floor, but he did on that one right there. He sold it.
That's the 3rd on Leo. Foul trouble in the post for ACU. No Braden Hubbard yet. Brett Tanner's going to stretch this out as long as he can.
Yeah, going to the under 4 timeout.
Nazir DeGrew is in for Madden, so both Smith and DeGrew, both point guards on the floor here. Harrison left side. The senior skip pass. It's Coles down the baseline. Blocked! Dontrez Williams the block.
That's the biggest block of the game. Okay, you really don't have a three-point shooter.
See if Leo gets a touch.
Go to the hole, go to the hole.
Downhill, a spin, a fade. Leo an offensive rebound. Lost it, Smith has it. Blocked from behind, late whistle to foul. Foul on Coles. Be his third, and Bryce Drew disagrees with that call. The under 4 timeout we go. ACU, 3-point lead with 3:17 left. Wildcats have trailed by as many as 8 here in the second half. This 14-3 run has put ACU back on top. They'll be at the free throw line coming out of the timeout. Bryce Drew did not agree with that final last call there on Jacoby Coles.
You know, about 8 minutes ago, the Wildcats, the ACU Wildcats were shooting like 37%. They're almost to 46. And Grand Canyon's cooling down quite a bit. They're at 35. They were higher than that about 8 minutes ago.
Really gone quiet on the offensive end. Smith at the line. The junior, the transfer.
But Andy, I'm still telling you, it's second shots. It'll be a second shot that wins this game.
Smith just at 64% free throw shooter on the year. 2 clutch ones here with 3:17 left.
100% on that trip. Okay, right here now, you cannot give up a second shot for your ACU, and if you're Grand Canyon, you're going to have to get 2 or 3 of those opportunities.
Williams with a screen, driving to the bucket, finishes and fouled. Just a screen, top of the key, went left, the help defense late. Williams, top finish, he's fouled by Dontrez Williams.
And we've been calling it the whole game. You've got to go to the hole. Every possession, you have to force the referee to make the block charge call.
That foul on Dontrez, just his first. But Makai Williams at the line, 79% free throw shooter. 1 possession game.
All right, let's see if Braden Hubbard can come through for the Wildcats right now, because Coles is guarding him.
And Hubbard with 4, will have to be careful on the drive.
You gotta go to the hole.
Smith gives it to Bettiol over Brennan off the glass.
That's his shot.
Leo's got 12.
Man's got great footwork and no lift, but boy, can he shoot the glass.
Back to Coles, top of the key. Harrison hands it off. Brennan, layup right side. Whistle and a timeout for Bryce Drew. 74-72 with 2:30 left.
Now watch how deep they get on the penetration right here. He's going to go all the way to the hole, and you had to leave Brennan alone. Leo did, Leo Bettiol, and they scored. Easier said than done.
So Hubbard with 4 fouls. Bettiol's been hot now with 12, 8 in the second half. Does Leo get a touch offensively here, ACU?
I think Leo's got to get on the free throw line right now. I think they're used to his moves, and they know that he's not going to jump over anyone like that right now. ACU's going to have to hit 4 or 5 free throws, or make 4 or 5 free throws right now, and don't be afraid to shoot the 3 if it's open. If I'm Hunter Jackson, I'll look at a quick 3.
Both teams still over 50%. GCU right at it, 29 of 58, 50%. ACU is at 52%, 28 of 54. Wildcats are 5 of 9 from 3 today. They're 13 of 14 at the free throw line. They're doing the small things right. 2-point lead with 2.5 left. It was one of the stumbling blocks last year for Grand Canyon in their 30-5 season. One of those 5, the losses right here at Moody Coliseum. Bettiol off the glass, left this one short. Cleared by Makai Williams. Chance to tie or take the lead.
Well, they had him a step outside of where he normally shoots that.
Williams goes to work on Smith again, and a Rich Smith foul. Makai Williams taking over from the point guard spot. He's going back to the line.
All right, watch all the way on the drive. That's just good basketball. I know they disagree with that, the fans do, but that is just ball control, dribble hard, run with a purpose, dribble with a purpose, and he's going to be rewarded.
And there was never any intentionality with the shoulder or the forearm. He was just going to the bucket. This is the free throw. Here's another look at it. Again, yeah, he's just going to the bucket.
Yeah, he's going to the bucket, gets his feet under him.
He's got Smith out of position.
Yes, he absolutely does.
That foul on Smith is 4th.
You know, when they take off like that, it's hard for you to come over and help.
Missed them both.
Well, an empty possession hurts Grand Canyon right there with 2 minutes.
Two high screen, top of the key.
They're going to look for a 3 on Hunter Jack. Or Keon. Or Leo.
Keon will take it. Coles will clear.
That's a good shot. Nice look. Need to stop. No second shot now for your ACU.
See if Coles gets an ISO here with Hubbard at 4 fouls.
Yeah, I think he will. That's a good call.
Harrison goes right. 8 on the clock for more.
Good match right here.
One-on-one with Madden. Lost his footing, lost the ball. It's loose at the free throw line. Whistle. Believe a jump ball is going to be called. Possession arrow goes to the Wildcats. Moore just lost his balance, lost the dribble long enough. Right there on the cross. Created chaos at the free throw line.
It doesn't take an intelligent person to sit here and tell you that ACU has to score on the strip, but ACU has to find a way to score on the strip, and it may be a second opportunity, second shot. Well, we had 44 points
44,
at half.
Yeah, 44.
Yeah, they've settled into what they can do best.
And defense has been much better than offense second half.
And this is a springboard game for ACU, win or lose. This is we need to step back and check our dressing room for Grand Canyon on this one.
We'll go under a minute on this possession. Madden, the senior, with 3 threes today.
Don't be afraid to take the 3.
Smith finds Hubbard. Downhill. Lost it. Coles collects.
Good stop for Grand Canyon. Excellent defense.
Williams with contact and a foul. Vettiol has his 4th.
I think Leo reaches. And you got to go to the hole. Go to the hole.
Pass deflected by Coles, who then collects. Williams on the outlet pass.
Now watch Leo reach right there. Yeah, you have to move your feet, not your hands. Have to have high hands and active feet.
Williams a dry trip on the last free throw line. He makes the first here.
Grand Canyon dodged the bullet on that possession before. Now, if I'm Tanner, I'm going to tell my guys be ready for a little one-and-done pressure. Don't haphazardly throw the ball in.
Yeah, the upside for Grand Canyon, free throw make, more free throw miss, is they'll get another possession. As you can see, 47.2, 30 seconds left.
All right, well now if you're going to be Andy Penny, the coach, you're going to get 2 possessions because you have the possession arrow.
Correct.
So if you have a tie ball, you don't lose anything. That's an extra possession for you and a reset on the shot clock. You need to think of those things when you start coaching little dribblers.
Oh, my days are well past those days.
You know, if you're coaching little dribblers, just show them where they're out of bounds line. Now go play and have fun. But not in this league.
Kai Williams, another free throw coming out of the timeout. He's just 2 for 5 from the line today.
And I'm still saying a second shot wins this game.
Wildcats a winner last year, 79-73 versus Grand Canyon.
On a late 3, heroic 3.
This one might take extra today, the way we're playing.
Yeah.
Our 9th tie of the afternoon comes at 74.
Okay.
Fans on their feet. Smith the point.
Probably 15, 16 seconds difference in the shot clock and the game clock.
Williams right side with 12. Lob pass, Bedio blocked by Brennan. Shot clock is off. Lopes have the final possession.
Okay, yeah, you have to block out here. This may be the second shot that Grand Canyon is looking for.
Harrison dribbles it down to 15. Hunter Jack plays defense. 8 on the clock, and Bryce drew a timeout. 8.4 left. Grand Canyon will set up their final play. Duke Brennan the block on the defensive end to give GCU the final possession, tied at 74.
Too much length right inside. Bedio you have to have more lift if you're going to shoot that shot. There's too much wingspan. Brennan at 6'10", Leo Bedio at 6'8".
Okay, Coach, so if you're Bryce Drew, you got 8 seconds left. What are you drawing up here with 8 left?
We're going to inbound the ball underneath. I'm going to look for a corner shot or something at the top. I guarantee you one now, I would look at Brennan because you know who they're going to cover. They're going to cover Cole, and they're going to cover Harris, and they're going to be on the alert for those guys. But if I'm Coach Drew, I'm not real happy with my offensive set that time because we didn't get the shot we want. Now we have to inbound with 8 seconds, and that limits. We can't do 3 or 4 passes. We have to do 2 passes and a shot.
ACU is led by as many as 11 today. They did that with 3.5 minutes left in the first half. Grand Canyon was able to get us back square at 44 at halftime. Grand Canyon led by as many as 8 here in the second half. They led 64-56 with 8 minutes left. Wildcats went on a run, took the lead back. But with 8 seconds left, we've had 9 ties, 7 lead changes, nothing decided.
Yeah.
And Grand Canyon the final possession.
Now here it comes down to the second shot.
Harrison will inbound on the baseline. Coles right side, one-on-one with Keon Williams. Backs him down, 5 on the clock. Coles, fade away. In and out, overtime. We put 5 more minutes on the clock.
Andy Penny called it, folks.
40 minutes, not enough to decide it. Jacoby Coles, a pretty good look, but Keon defended well. The fadeaway falls out. We head to overtime here in Abilene.
Wow.
$74 apiece. We head to overtime on the final day of the regular season here in Western Athletic Conference play. Coach, just a little appetizer of what's ahead in Las Vegas next week.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that.
Jacoby Coles, a good look here on Keon, just left it short on the fadeaway.
Well, he hit 1 or 2 of those early on in the game. Nice look, though. Nice look.
Grand Canyon has not played an overtime game this year. ACU has played 1. They lost to UT Arlington in overtime here in Abilene. That back in late January. Foul trouble is a concern for ACU as we put another 5 minutes on the clock. Bedio and Rich Smith both with 4 fouls. Ray Harrison has 4 for GCU. Hunter Jack Madden just stole the inbounds. Missed the shot, and Keon puts it back in.
Second shot.
Grand Canyon fell asleep. They won the tap, but nobody collected it.
That's a freebie.
Here comes Makai Williams on Rich Smith. Missed the shot. Last touch by Williams, laying out of bounds. See Hunter Jack steal the tip here. Looked like GCU was going to win the tip.
Well, they did win the tip.
Jumped the lane.
He should have dunked it.
Keon the layup.
Huge possession.
He's got 15 to lead the way. 4 Wildcats in double figures, 4 Lopes in double figures, led by Coles in 17. Through the hands of Keon Williams, it's a turnover.
That's a good. Not just a turnover, it's careless. He should have caught the ball.
Good back cut. Moore lost his footing, but
yeah.
Williams just missed the pass.
Yeah. All right, let's see what Grand Canyon does.
Both teams have fallen under 50% shooting now. Again, 44 points apiece in the first half, 30 points apiece in the second half. Bounce pass stolen by Madden. DeGrew is in at the point guard spot. He checked in for Smith. Bettiol works on Brennan. Back out to Hubbard. Shot fake. One dribble. Shot up. Fouled.
Yeah, two shots.
Caught on the arm by Moore.
I'm still convinced even in overtime, you have to go all the way to the hole. Leo right here. He went to his left. No left. And that's a bad closeout. I think Coach Drew will have that in the film room.
It almost feels like offensively you attack because it's such a battle of attrition now. You get the foul call and you get less players available for you.
Well,
foul trouble.
You know, and if you're one of the guys with 4 fouls, you have to play to win. You can't play to keep from losing. So you can't be afraid to get the 5th foul.
Hubbard's got 15. It's a 2-possession game.
Okay, now they take him out so they can't attack him.
Dontrez Williams subs in.
4-point lead right now is huge.
Two-man game, Harrison and Coles. Harrison's gonna ISO and back down Hunter Jack Madden. Fade away from 10. Well short. No legs in that shot from Harrison.
Now be judicious with the ball right now. There you go. If you're gonna go, you gotta go. Grand Canyon, you're gonna have to help.
Brennan treads right side, entry pass to Bettiol.
Comes down to Brennan again.
Bettiol and Brennan going to work on the block. Baby hook, too strong.
Boy, I'm impressed with Brennan. That is one strong, tough cookie.
Now a reach in. If that's on Bettiol, that's his 5th.
Yeah.
And it is. Leo a reach in on Colin Moore. Changing directions on the perimeter, and Leo Bettiol's day has come to an end. The battle of attrition, the first win goes the way of GCU.
Now, I understand in this game that's a tough 5th foul. I mean, it's a 5th foul. It was definitely. And I'm not so sure in the overtime with 3 minutes to go in the game that's a bad substitution for ACU because he's not effective to score. Who came in? I can't remember who came. Hubbard came
back in.
You got a threat from a 3 and the paint as well.
Leo's day comes to an end. Leo finishes with 12 points on 5 of 12 shooting. 12 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Colin Moore's first point on the first made free throw. Missed the second. Brennan fouls. Hunter Jack will walk the floor and shoot 2. And now you can see Brett Tanner on the offense to defense substitutions. And now that we walk the floor and assuming Hunter Jack makes these free throws, he's ready to make a defensive substitution for Rich Smith.
You know, when I was coaching, I liked the odd even deal. I'd rather be on the odd point differential. If he makes both of these, I'm feeling pretty comfortable if I'm a Wildcat from ACU. And the best way to score in overtime is a free throw or a layup. Now, Honeker's going to have to bring him some toughness.
Honeker for Hubbard, DeGrew for Smith. Both of those guys with 4 fouls. Defense for offense. Madden, a 92% free throw shooter. He's got both.
Hey, do you have statistically how many timeouts that the Wildcats have? They have 2 left?
On the scoreboard, it says they have 2 left.
Yeah,
yep.
we'll go by that right now. If they have 2 left, they're sitting pretty good right now with 2 timeouts.
Up by 5, our first overtime.
And no second shot. Here comes a 3.
War is back in, as is Shaw. Harrison gets a screen going left. Into the corner, War. A reach in and a foul. That's on Keon. That's Keon's 4th. And And Luke War will go to the line.
Now, who's been absent the last 8-9 minutes of regulation? Now we've gotten into the overtime. Coles.
Yep.
No touch, no score. They're going to need to isolate him.
Luke War free throw, got it.
Boy, Luke War has done a really nice job coming off the bench.
He's got 13. Harrison 14, Coles 17, Brennan 11.
That's not bad for a guy that doesn't start. Nice stat line.
Shaw with 9. He'd be the 5th lope to get to double figures if he can get there as he's back on the floor. 1-for-2 trip. The defense for offense substitutions for the Wildcats as well as Smith and Hubbard check in during that free throw exchange.
And now you have a timeout to burn as well.
Dontrez Williams down the baseline, lost it, kicks it out.
Yeah.
Lopes basketball.
Yeah.
Had a step there on Shaw, but lost the dribble.
Well, I don't think he was looking to score. I think he was just looking to run the clock, run the baseline. Look for War. He'll shoot a 3.
Williams works with Keon, who has 4. Line of contact, whistle, and a foul call. And Keon Williams has just fouled out.
That does damage.
And that's where Makai Williams has been so good here down the stretch.
Oh, no doubt.
With the dribble and drawing the contact.
And I know I keep saying it, but you have to drive with a purpose so that happens.
Now Keon on our stat sheet has 5 fouls, but he's still on the floor.
Okay. We'll live with that's his 4th.
We'll assume that it's his 4th. 1-for-2 trip, 3-point game.
You're going to need to get on the free throw line right now if you're ACU.
Hubbard, a spin in the paint against War, missed the shot. And right back the other way, Williams again. It's a 1-point game.
Strong move by Williams. Strong move.
And Brett Tanner wants to use one of his 2 timeouts. It's been Makai Williams in overtime for GCU, able to get downhill and finish. Strong move there versus Dontrez Williams. We're checking the foul count on the far side. We had Keon listed with 4, and that last foul would have been his 5th, but they're checking on the far side, the accuracy of that. Makai Williams with the layup is now in double figures. He is the 5th lope to get there, 10 points.
Well, now you have to score if you're ACU. Find a way to get to the hole. And if I'm Coach Tanner, I'm telling them to go all the way to the hole. If I'm Coach Drew, I'm telling my guys they're going all the way to the hole. There'll be no one passing the ball out. And they're not going to pass it out to a shooter. Just cover Madden if you're Grand Canyon. And force them into a really tough shot. And I'd come back down the floor from Grand Canyon and look for Coles. Because he's gone AWOL. Now he's doing the little things. I don't mean to say he's gone. He's not doing anything because he is. But I'd sure look him up.
Coming out for GCU, it's Coles, Shaw, Harrison, Williams, and War. They'll be on the floor. Keon Williams, Dontrez Williams, Madden, Hubbard, and Smith on the floor for the Wildcats. The last 4 have gone the way of GCU. They're back within 1. Betty All is fouled out here for the Wildcats.
You got to go to the hole. Go to the
Hubbard
hole.
one-on-one with Coles. Shot off the glass, too strong. Tapped around, War has it. Lost it. Back in the hands of Madden.
New shot clock, take your time. Got to do the same thing again though, Andy. You've got to go to the hole.
Boy, Hubbard's calling for it.
He's showing numbers.
Skip past Dontrez.
Nope.
Well strong on the three. Ward clears. Chance to take the lead for the Lopes with a minute left.
Okay, now you can't get lost. Now, a good execution, World step out.
Harrison a step, contact. Free throws coming for Ray Harrison.
Harrison is a stud duck. Watch him go all the way to the hole.
And the foul is on Braden Hubbard. That is his 5th. Braden's day has come to an end.
Boy, he drew contact, stayed in the air. Still got a shot off on the way down.
16 points for Braden Hubbard on 5 of 13 shooting. 5 of 5 at the line. So Bettiol has fouled out. Hubbard has now fouled out. And Ray Harrison at the line, trying to give the Lopes the lead.
I still think it's going to be a second shot. Be a knife to the heart.
Harrison's 5 for 5 at the line today.
Nothing but net.
Our 10th tie. It's a 6-0 Grand Canyon run. They've got the lead with 50 seconds.
And they have the possession arrow.
Madden works against Harrison. Bounce pass to Smith. Contact. Shot blocked by Ward.
Now you have to foul.
Shot clock is still on. About an 8-second difference.
Foul Williams. You have to foul Williams.
Williams has it.
That's who you foul.
Looks like the Wildcats are going to play it out with an 8-second difference. Harrison again. 10 on the clock. This is all Ray Harrison.
Yeah.
One-on-one with Madden. 5 on the clock. Step back, whistle, charge call.
Push off.
Harrison called for extending the off arm, the right arm on Hunter Jack Madden. And ACU will have a possession with 11.7 left.
Now this is going to be interesting if you're a coach, because you've got two choices. You either have to set something up for a 2 or a 3, but you've got to go all the way to the hole too and make the referee make the call.
That foul on Harrison, his 5th. So Ray is fouled out with 16. Bryce Drew looks like he's going to put Colin Moore in. Check that. He's going to go with height. He's going to put Duke Brennan in.
Contest anything at the basket.
Cade Horniker is in for ACU.
Horniker at 7 foot. He needs to be around the basket, period. Set one screen and then go to the hole.
We've had 10 ties, 8 lead changes. Wildcats, the final possession. Smith in the half-court circle. It's Madden, the senior. Penetrates, up and under, left it short, whistle and a foul.
Yeah.
Hunter Jack Madden to the line with 2.4 left.
All right, go ahead.
Caleb Shaw, Bryce Drew can't believe it.
Well, we're going to find out if Hunter Jack Madden is a 93% free throw shooter. You know, I told you there's no pressure on. These are the easy shots. Now they're the toughest shot in the world. Go ahead.
The senior is 3rd year in a Wildcat uniform. His 93rd game played. Even in Abilene. And Bryce Drew wants his final timeout.
Wow.
On our 10th tie of the afternoon at 81. And Bryce Drew wants to talk to the officials more than his team. We'll get another look here as Hunter Jack attacks the basket versus Coles.
He gets in traffic.
It's a left hand on the back. I don't know how forceful the left hand on the back was, but it was on the back as Hunter Jack made his shot. And the foul was called on the near sideline.
Well, you know, good officials are cognizant of any little dirty trick that you're going to try to pull. and they're going to watch on the finish. They're not going to watch on the ball handling so much. You know, you're going to be able to dribble down into traffic. They're going to let you do that, but it's going to be up on top on the finish that you're going to expose the referee.
And Madden, who plays his final game at Moody Coliseum, a chance to give the Wildcats the lead with 2 seconds left. No timeouts left for Grand Canyon. They'll have to run their inbounds play if Madden gives the Wildcats the lead.
You're going to have to make them inbound in front of you.
It's point number 17 in the Wildcats' lead.
Now you make them inbound in front of you. The ball has to land in front.
Coles to inbound front court. Brett Tanner, a substitution. He'll get Nazir DeGrew in for Horniker. March Madness in full effect with 2.4 left. Coles to inbound. Lopes will have to go the distance.
You've got one dribble if you're Grand Canyon, one dribble.
Coles pass to Brennan. It's deflected. Shot at the buzzer, no good by Shaw. And the Wildcats survive the last game at Moody Coliseum on the year. Your final score in overtime. ACU 82, Grand Canyon 81. Baseball pass full length of the court. Brennan couldn't make the catch. Shaw in desperation over the backboard as the clock expired. And ACU survives.
Hey,
what a win for the Wildcats.
That's a Duke, Kentucky special or a Drew special when he's at Valpo.
So ACU will finish the regular season at 16-15. They are even in conference play at 8-8. They will be the number 4 seed in Las Vegas. Grand Canyon will finish the regular season 23-7, 13-3 in conference play. The Lopes will be the number 2 seed next week in Las Vegas. And we'll start on Wednesday. Hunter Jack Madden is courtside with Roman Raffelli. Roman, take it away.
Thanks, guys. Hunter, what a way to end your ACU career in Moody. Walk me through your mindset at the line there.
Honestly, I don't want to think about anything. I just think about how much I love this place, and I just want to end on a win.
How big is this win moving into the tournament next week?
It's good. It's good momentum to let the league know that we're coming and we're going to go win that stuff, and that's all our mind is on.
All right, thank you, Hunter.
Thank you.
Guys, back to you.
Great job, Coach. What a way to finish the regular season. Great win for the Wildcats today.
Well, and he gets to soak it all in at the free throw line. He gets to look around at his surroundings, and time stood still. Time stood still.
In overtime, the Wildcats will get the win 82-81. Las Vegas will be fun next week. This is just an appetizer of what is to come. Coach, great job. Enjoyed every second of it.
I did too. I enjoyed it too, Andy.
This has been a presentation of the Western Athletic Conference on ESPN. All games are streaming live. They're archived on the ESPN app. For everybody involved, Roman Raffelli and the coach Ron Holmes and everybody at ACU TV, great job all season long, guys. Led by Hutton Harris. I'm Andy Penny. Again, our final score in overtime, ACU 82, Grand Canyon 81. Good night from Abilene.
Wow.